Alright guys, time to grab it back again today. Hope you're enjoying your day so far, and a number of interesting topics to go through today. We're going to talk about Octane's $10,000 plus fine that he got through the Modern Warfare season, or fines in plural, on multiple occasions of course when this happened over the course of the season, as we're going to look at in the coming minutes here. But also, Nadeshot saying that Los Angeles Thieves, with the leak that came out a couple of weekends ago when Deserto said, look, LA Thieves is going to be happening, they're purchasing the spot from Hector and buying out OGLA and all that kind of stuff, and the questions that came out as a result of that, he says that almost cost him the actual possibility to complete this deal, which has been a bit of a disaster as we've been talking about over the last couple of days, all the positive things that come out of this move. Intrigued to hear all your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thank you for doing that. First of all, to mention this, Blast says like he's not going to be on a starting team next season, going to be competing with Neptune, so like a well-known like Halo talent or whatever. They're a team of two going into Cold War, so I thought this is a pretty exciting prospect for the Challenger side. Definitely going to be a very, very competitive season, not just in the pro scene, but also in the Challenger scene now, especially that it has gone to 4 versus 4. This comes out yesterday then, so the Stay Attached podcast episode 6 with Octane goes live, and well, one of the clips is this as follows. Octane paid at least $10,000 in fines last season. We know there were some issues last season with the online stuff. Seattle kind of got screwed over on a couple of occasions when they were playing London, and it was a crucial tournament for them. It was like the final tournament. They really had a decent shot. If they made a decent run, they could have still made the winners bracket at Champs. It was still possible. They're playing London Royal Ravens, and I think it was like St. Petrograd's Hardpoint or something like that, slacked lags out of the game, and yeah, everyone on the team just goes absolutely haywire. Like even Apathy was firing absolute beams on the timeline at the CDL. Where's the competitive integrity? The fact that they worked so hard towards this and some player lags out and they just have to continue the game and not get a replay was very frustrating. The CDL then did kind of change the rules, but it didn't really make too much impact, and I think Seattle felt somewhat hard done by, and we'll have a look at some of the tweets from Octane in a second to a similar vein. A couple of times this season, he was talking about the lack of competitive integrity, what a joke the league was. Not really the best look from a public-facing side. I'm sure the CDL looks at this and says, well, when our own players are just saying that the league is awful, probably doesn't look great. But there's definitely a line to be drawn here between fining players too much and not allowing them the freedom of speech, I suppose, to actually come out and straight up say the game is bad, and the game has issues and the CDL has issues in terms of how they're running things. I guess at the end of the day, they're more expecting those criticisms to come behind the scenes, because it doesn't exactly promote the CDL in the best light when all the players are just tweeting absolute trash on Twitter, I suppose, at the end of the day. Scump has also been fined as well for saying Modern Warfare is like the worst Call of Duty ever and stuff like that, and we talked about that at the time, given the fact that that's just an opinion, right? Like, what's the problem with Scump just saying that he believes it's the worst Call of Duty ever made? At least from a competitive perspective, in theory there shouldn't really be an issue with that, but maybe Activision are taking a line slightly too hardcore, and we're going to look here at how Octane says he's paid at least $10,000 in fines, which is a fair chunk of change.
But you were close. You were up there this season for how much trouble you got in sometimes. You were very outspoken. But can we pin down around like the area of how much you were actually fined by the CDL? Because you made it pretty apparent that you had a couple fines throughout the season.
Multiple fines. I don't think I can say the amount. I tweeted that
if it was over 10K.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't. That's all I'll say. It's over.
So these are some of the tweets at the time. Competitive integrity strikes again. $400 million league, by the way. 4 versus 5. No replay. Sick joke. Try and fire me. Like, people can't do their jobs. Literally our most important series of the year, as I was saying. They still had an opportunity to make the winners bracket of the World Championships. Can't replay a tied hardpoint. This league is awful. And, etc., etc. This is the kind of stuff you saw. He deleted a number of these. This one actually is still live, which I thought was kind of funny. I looked it up from back in June. Competitive integrity is non-existent, and Gunless replies as well to a similar effect. CoD Esports has never had competitive integrity. You're just now finding this out, and then he goes on to say, I just saw the graphic for prize money earned for every team. I paid more in fines than prize money earned. And this is pretty interesting given the fact that, well, as you can see right here, this is the graphic he means. You can see that, well, Empire winning the World Championship, $1.7 million. This is the amount of prize money won per team. And Surge's only $10,000 came from when they made top 4 at one event. They beat Los Angeles Guerrillas like 2 times in their GSL style group. They made top 4. They pocketed 10 grand, and of course that was only $2,000 each. So we were talking about it on the channel at the time as to like, okay, so maybe he just means the fact that, well, he had like a fifth of the cut or whatever. So he made $2,000 in terms of prize money this season. So maybe that's what he meant when he says that, like, I paid more in fines than prize money earned. Like his personal prize money had more than 2K, and more than 2K seemed like a reasonable ballpark. But more than 10K, like, damn, that's a lot of money at this point. And I know that Octane and these guys on CS, I think think Enable even said they were maybe the highest paid team in the league last year, or at least like top 3 in that ballpark, which is remarkable to see, right? I mean, it makes sense given the names on that squad, but just seeing what Surge managed to accomplish with the roster of names as big as they were, and I think Enable, like when they were initially putting the team together, they went to Apathy, he was going to join Florida, and just said like, hey, do you want to make like a ridiculous amount of money here on Seattle? And Apathy was like, yeah, I'm down. And Octane, I'm sure, like being their star player or whatever, being the linchpin of their team, probably making in a 300k plus ballpark or something around there, like we've seen for other players as well. And you know, if it's in that region, 10k isn't too much of a big deal. At the end of the day, 10k is a lot of money to be fines, and I thought it was somewhat less than this, given what he said before about maybe it was just his share, but apparently he paid more fines than the entirety of Seattle as an organization earned in prize money the entire season long. Pretty remarkable to see. The second story of the day is this. A couple of days ago, Los Angeles Thieves officially confirmed their team for the CoD League 2021, and Nate Shot said on stream while he was playing Among Us as a result of this, like, yeah, super happy to get this through, but the leak that came out, so Deserte reported it a couple of weeks ago now, saying that Los Angeles Thieves is back in the CDL. They're going to be purchasing this spot from Hector Rodriguez, who bought out Optic Gaming Los Angeles from Immortals in this kind of chaotic off-season that we have had. But Nate Shot says on stream that actually this deal almost didn't go through because of the leak.
Who is excited about LA Thieves? Yes, is there anybody here that's excited about LA Thieves? Because I am. Oh, look at the aimbot, dude. I've been on aim lab training. Oh, LA Thieves, bro. I can't believe it happened. Damn. Yo, you guys have no idea how close we were to it not happening. We got to like the 11th hour of the deal and I thought it was chalked. Man, you guys don't even understand. Like, we should not be here right now. What's crazier, though, is when it leaked like a couple weeks ago, that almost killed the damn deal. Like, whoever leaked it almost killed it. Almost killed the whole deal. I was so pissed, man, because we were working on this for like the last 2 months.
It's interesting to see exactly why this would be the case. Maybe that because the leak came out, some of the other organizations that were involved found out this deal was going to be going through and then like said to Hex, like, we'll give you like 50 mil, we'll give you 60 mil, we'll give you whatever you want to get this deal done. And, you know, maybe he had to like hold his nerve in that sense and continue doing the deal that he was trying to do with Nachot here. But yeah, certainly these leaks can have detrimental impacts on how things go. And I certainly think this would have been a huge loss for the Call of Duty League if this hadn't have gone through. I mean, what other investor groups were potentially interested? Certainly not ones with, you know, the history and the pedigree in Call of Duty that 100 Thieves and Nachots have, right? So yeah, super great to see from our perspective, I think. But it's crazy how much things may have been on a knife's edge this offseason that we never got to see. And it looks like, you know, looking back in hindsight, it's pretty easy to say, okay, yeah, so LA Thieves by the spot makes perfect sense, all things considered. But yeah, certainly this could have gone a very different way. Indeed, in the Call of Duty League franchise may have looked very different to as it actually does look like right now, with Los Angeles Thieves here in the CDL, where they do indeed belong. To finish off the video, this from GG Breaking Point. Yesterday we announced our #1 player of 2020. Pretty controversial one. I mean, like, the statistics definitely point towards Simp probably being the better player. I can definitely see an argument for Abizi. Like, you can certainly say Simp wasn't even the best player on his team, right, and say that Abizi was #1 on that squad. I think that was certainly true probably the last 3 events of the year, but I think people do forget to some degree, and there's some recency bias in the fact that Simp was dropping like 1.2s, 1.3s early season on with like the SMG in hand, and no one else was doing that, and he still maintained a great performance level through the latter half of the year when Shotzzy started to, you know, improve and do much better. In terms of pure statistics, I think Simp is a fair pick, but Shotzzy definitely could deserve it from the element of, okay, yeah, he won the World Championship, won more events than Simp did the entire season, and you can also argue that Abizi for the last few events did better and value those last few events more valuably than the events early part of the season. So yeah, there's definitely an argument to be had here. I'm certainly intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below on this one. Also, congrats to YoungBull20 for winning the second Battle Beaver giveaway. Just to let you guys know, so we predicted the top 5 players, which was Celium, Envoy, Abizi, Shotzzy, and Simp. There was like 25 of us that like put together our top 30 players, and then like you know, just collated the whole lot to see who was going to be the top 20 and average everything out, and that was kind of the order that we came up with at the end of the day. But I believe over the coming days we're going to be doing another giveaway, like more of a generic Battle Beaver giveaway. So yeah, stay tuned for that one. It's going to be like a follow, this type of thing. And if you just missed out on guessing the top 5 this time around, then that is your opportunity to still win a Battle Beaver controller. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm know you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well and help grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.